Our first question we wanted to ask you, Ken, was about your math story, like your math identity. A lot of us, our identities are influenced by many things. And so math has played a lot of roles for many people. And we were just curious to know a little bit more about yours.
Well, I think mine is more from a traditional background, as I evolved as a teacher and, brought some of how I was taught to the classroom. I've learned over time that some of my some of my math identity is very traditional. So here's an example. Uh, I would have kids. I was a fourth grade teacher, and I learned I would have them line up at my desk and touch this digit right here. And I called it the Sister Manuela dent. Now it's nothing special. It's just the bone. But I'd make the kids come up and touch it. And I tell them, you got two ways to learn these multiplication tables. You can write them 111 million times like I did in Sister Manuela's class and got this dent. Or you can learn the Shania Twain sevens, the Yankee Doodle eights, all the songs I made up, kind of inspired by Schoolhouse Rock. And that's how we did it. I would make math competitive games. And it was, here was one of my real awakenings that I went from like memorization math to really understanding math. I was in graduate school in an elementary developmental mathematics class. And listen, I've memorized all my times tables. I know 9 times 7 is 63 because I've written 9x7 equals 63 so many times. I see it. And I remember sitting in graduate school and the professor said, here's how you teach arrays. And I looked over like, what's an array? Huh? What do you mean you teach a multiplication table with these X's on the paper? We use the Mad Minute and multiplication tables and memorization and pressure and all those things. That was one of my first real awakenings about understanding, I don't know the best way to put it, the literacy behind math, like understanding math fundamentally as opposed to just that rote memorization, which, listen, I believe my teachers did the best they could with what they had. And it happened to serve me well. But I'm going to be going to the airport in a couple of hours to pick up my sister who's flying in from New York. And I believe that same approach, memorization, pressure, like she is math averse completely. I survived it. And I had to learn the hard way to understand that that's not the best way to teach an understanding of developmental mathematics, to understand the workings of mathematics, the workings of numeracy. And you talk to my sister and she's just freaked out. She's one of those people who's like, I'm not a math person. And that's one of the reasons I'm always honored to work with organizations like yours, because I've been telling audiences, look, no one ever says I'm not a literacy person. I've never heard anybody say that. I'm not a reading person. And I want mathematics to be regarded as literacy is regarded, which is oxygen, and it's the truth. It's all over. So that was my math identity. I don't have a lot of trauma to speak of. Maybe trigonometry in high school, just getting through trig. But I survived, and I'm grateful for the mathematicians and the folks who are very passionate about mathematics who gave me grace in my evolution to understand that there's developmental learning that takes place with mathematics. It's got to be more than rote memorization. And so that's where I've come with it. And every time I connect with another organization like yours, I learn that much more.